everybody, this is Matt and we're at Texas Toast Guitars. Thanks for watching another episode of me doing stuff. Today I've got something pretty neat. We are going to put roundovers and comfort contours on this Jazz Master shape. By the way, we have been calling this the Super Casanova for a long time. Not many people know that. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and put the 1/2-inch roundover on the body all the way around. We're going to watch out for the neck plate area because we don't want a 1/2-inch roundover there. So we're going to stop, and so we blend that in by hand later. And then we're going to put the forearm contour and the gut cut on both of these. And I got some cool tools to show you, and maybe a few other tricks along the way. But enough with the bullshit talk. Let's get started. Of course, the best tool to do the roundover is the table router. It's actually superior even to my beloved pin router. I have a 1/2-inch roundover bit chucked up into the router table here. It's just a standard 1/2-inch roundover bit. Some people think that Fender used something not quite 1/2-inch. I guarantee you he did. He didn't go out and get a 7/16 roundover bit custom made. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and do the top. We can go from the one end of the neck pocket all the way around to the other. And it's so easy, even I can do it. I'm lucky that the Jazzmaster doesn't have a side jack because I know I would have fallen into the hole for the jack with this big roundover bit. That's something to keep in mind, guys. If you're going to be using a side jack on your project, it might not be a bad idea to put the roundover on first and then drill for the jack. That way the bit doesn't fall into that hole when you're doing your roundover. So that looks pretty good. Let's do the back. Remember, we're going to leave this portion flat so that it will work with a standard Fender plate, which means I'm probably going to come in right about here and go to right about here, and I'll have to blend that stuff in by hand later on. You know, if this were a Rickenbacker, it'd be done. All right, and as you can see, we have a nice big flat patch here for the Fender plate to go. We'll have to kind of grind this in by hand later, but that's just sort of what you have to do so that you can use a Fender plate. This is actually pretty good as is, but after Fender introduced the Stratocaster, lots of stuff got the forearm contour and the belly cut here. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. Now there's a lot of ways that you can do that, but this is a video where we show you how we do it, and I've got a special jig on my bandsaw, and we're going to hack some of this off and some of this off, and then we'll take it over to the deadhead sander and clean it up. It is my belief that that's probably exactly how they did it at Fender back in the old days before everything went to CNC. So that's the way that we do it now. First we have to draw a couple lines. Let's get started with that. First thing we're going to do is we're going to draw a straight line for our forearm contour. And we'll follow that on the saw. And the jig that we're going to hold this body in will actually set the angle. Now Chris is running the camera, so he's going to tell me, where does it start, Chris? Right about here? Mm-hmm. And it ends right about here? Mm-hmm. Okay. And it comes to right about here?
That looks about right, yeah.
Okay. And then it kind of just sort of something not unlike this?
Yep.
All right. And I'll make this line a little something like that. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we're actually going to clamp this piece onto this sled here. And the angle is now set, and we're going to come in here with the bandsaw blade and just cut this out, and then we'll flip it upside down or onto the other side and do this one. The other day our friend Mike Learn was at the shop, and he actually did this step freehand with no jig, and we thought, man, that's really cool. I sure am glad we have the jig. I'm going to roll in some footage of Mike doing that now.
No sweat, fellas, no sweat. We'll be all right. It's all in the angle of the dangle. So what you're looking at is like the distance between this edge, the backside of the body, and you're just kind of imagining it's flipped over on the other side. No, I mean this one's it's a pretty safe cut. You know, this one's a little trickier, you know.
Now it's time to do the forearm cut. Chris recommends that I come about a 1/2 inch in and we'll sand to this line here because well, you want to cut as much of this meat off as you can with the saw, but we don't want to cut off too much. So we're going to cut just a little bit less than the line. The cool part about this is this chunk of poplar does not have to get turned into sawdust now. It's one piece and we can just throw it in the old basket there. I missed. And then, so we don't have to cover the shop in sawdust. But now it's time to get busy with the deadhead sander. And you know who's really, really good at that? That's right, the cameraman, Chris himself. We're going to switch places and he's going to do that for us.
I'll do it. What do you want?
Hey Chris, so you got that done all on the deadhead sander, but we took it off the jig that we used on the saw first. Why do you not leave it clamped to the jig?
Well, I never thought of doing that. I think it would be too bulky, and I actually like being able to feel where I am with the body, doing it by hand this way. We used to do it just all on the deadhead sander for a long time.
We didn't cut any out, right?
Yeah, but this jig makes it a lot faster and a little bit smoother.
The last thing we want to do is break this edge off here that now is not 1/2 inch, and just kind of make it look right, and then we'll have to, of course, attack it with some sandpaper, and then we'll be done. Okay, I've got a little more sanding to do on this one. We just sort of scratched it up with 60 and 80, but all the contours look really good. This one will get shipped off to my customer who only wanted a neck pocket and contours, and he's going to do the rest. We don't know what he's up to, but I'm sure it's going to be something cool. If you like this video, make sure to give me the thumbs up, and if you haven't already subscribed yet, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We do neat stuff like this all the time and try to do at least one pre-recorded video every week, in addition to all the live videos that we do every week also. If you appreciate the content that we put out, you might want to go over to our Patreon page and become a member. Only $1 a month helps us out quite a bit, and you can help grow the channel that you guys love to watch. I say love to watch because you guys tell me how much you love to watch this stuff. But if you can't do Patreon, we totally get it. There's no paywall for these videos. Just share the video as many places as you can think of. Help us grow the channel any way that you can. And until next time, this is Matt at Texas Toast reminding you that if you're so smart, build it yourself. That's what I do. Thanks for watching, you guys. Take care.